Mr. Ajay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, shall we start? We will
Yeah.
see the participants as well. So, right now, around there are 42 participants. Dear participants, shall we start the session now? Can anybody respond? Yes. So, Pranali,
Yes, sir.
yeah, thank you. Uh, so now I would like to welcome Mr. Ajaya. He is a system engineer in the automation and control division, Modelicon Infotech. He has gained a vast experience in or expertise in industrial automation, process automation, hardware in loop simulation design, development of control system using proportional and integral derivative controls, programmable logic controllers, soft PLC, SCADA, and HMI systems. So in this session, he is going to discuss about how courses courses software can be used in order to suit or meet the requirements that is being discussed with respect to HMI. So now I would like to request Ajaya to take over the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Desai, sir. So, first of all, welcome to the session. So, I have shared a link in the chat section, a drive link. Please download the zip file and keep it ready. I'll take over the presentation.
Mr. Ajay, can you turn on your camera so that we can take a snapshot?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Please let me know when my screen is visible.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have shared the screen.
So mainly what we are in this session, what I'll be discussing is the CodeSys part. So how CodeSys software we can use as a controller and make your PC or a laptop or any computing device what you have right now as a PLC. So main thing when we are talking about process control or simulating the process in a VR application, we need something to control the thing. So we, as Ritesh discussed on the modeling aspect, so that will replicate a physical system. So physical system will give you some values at any real time point according to the physical model, but to do the control aspect or to develop the control logic is like when to operate a certain application or when to run a certain logic, you need some controller to run that. So that controlling will be done through CodeSys.
ಬನ್ನಿ ಸರ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ
Sorry,
ಮುಂದೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
uh, did somebody talk?
One
ಸಾರಿ
second.
ಸರ್
One
ಸಾರಿ
second.
ಸರ್
Okay, sure. So then so everybody we can go for the starting first step. I'll go through, I request you to go through with me on the CodeSys starting. So I'll be explaining the basic aspect of how we can run a CodeSys application. I presume everybody had installed the CodeSys and this icon is readily available for them on the desktop or wherever they have installed it. So double click and start the CodeSys. It will take some time to run or the start. So meanwhile, I can explain what CodeSys is. So CodeSys is a soft PLC application. So when you say soft PLC, you have PLCs which are hardware logics, which have the semiconductor devices inside, where you do the logic and dump the logic to that semiconductor device, and then that, according to the current state of the logic, it'll run the system as it is, as it progresses. So when you do soft PLC, you that hardware, whatever the computing power was there in the hardware, that computing power is your laptop. So whatever your processing capability of a laptop is now used as a PLC. So PLC has a heart for the computation where the control logic will be developed, right? Or where the control logic runs. That will be now run on your laptop. So that is the whole basic term for soft PLC, a software version of the PLC. So whatever physical PLC will be doing, same thing will be replicated in a software. So when you now soft PLCs, we need something to it's a PLC which software will be running on your PC as how it will run on a PLC. It'll run on your PC, and then you need some physical IOs to connect, where you can connect the how you connect it to a PLC, and then you connect your analog devices or the sensors or the actuators. You connect it to the PLC, where the analog signals go through the system, and then actual operation happens. So that can be done if you connect any IO interfaces to your laptop. So the main PLC, or the program logic controller, but the heart of it, which was the hardware unit, some box unit, which is now replaced by a laptop. So that's the whole idea of soft PLC. So now when you run launch Codesys, you screen this screen will be there, and every time when you open the Codesys software. So first, the next couple of steps, what you have to do is configuring your laptop as the PLC. So for that, first thing what you have to do is tools, package manager. So in the package manager, you have to install a file called Codesys Control Win64. So in the initial zip file of the software folders, what we had sent in the drive link, in the Codesys folder, there was a second file, which was this file. I have two here, but actually what you have was a package file and a Codesys Control Win64 3.1.16.20. So you have to open that, and then go on with the process. I can go through it. It'll take some time, so I can just show it to you right now. So everybody got that file, right?
Are you talking about the example one?
No, the previous one in the software zip file. In the Codesys folder, there was another file called package.
Okay.
So there's a file named Codesys Control Win 64 3.5.16.20. That file. So everybody has that file, right?
Any participants having issue with this part of this particular process that is being discussed now? I think
already downloaded that, sir, actually, but now do we have to do it again?
No. In the downloaded folder only it is there. So I just wanted you to locate there and verify that it is there. Now I'll tell you how to install that. So now you see, when you open Codesys, everybody open Codesys and went to Tools, Package Manager, right? So in that you will see that there'll be one this and two lines will be there. nothing on Codesys Win. So now what you have to do is start install. Click install and go to the folder, that software Codesys subfolder, and then select Codesys Control Win64 3.5.16.20 and then click open. And then go on next, typical setup itself, next. And then it'll install this file. It'll take few minutes, but it'll install that file. So everybody, up till here, we are good?
Any participant not able to do
Install
what?
the file?
Yeah.
And then next, and then finish. So then after you install, that process is done, you'll be having this file, Codesys Control Win64 in this subfolder. So, and then you close it. So up till here, it is fine. Okay, so now we'll create a new project for now as an example. So new project, either here in the basic operations or in the top left corner, you can see a folder with a left star for new project. There you select where you want. So it'll select a path where you have to save the project files. Click any path where you want to save the files and give a particular name. So I'll just say basic, and then click OK. So this will be a standard project, and then click OK. Okay, so one second, I'll just show you the installation again. It's opening the example. So one thing I'll tell before going to that install again. Yeah, so here tools, package manager, and then install on the top right corner of the additional dialog what opened. Install. Go to the folder where you had saved that software.zip, right? Where you had extracted that file. In that file, there's a subfolder called Codesys. In that subfolder, you have one file which was the installer of the Codesys main software, which you had already installed. There's another additional file named Codesys Control Win64 3.5.16.20. Click that and click open. When you click open, it'll ask the installation. Give the this thing, run the software, install it, go next whenever it prompts. It'll prompt saying that typical setup in one point. Give that next, and then finish. So it'll take a few minutes to install, and after you are done, you'll have this in the list of packages available in Codesys. And then when you're done with that, you click close. So are we good?
Nandini madam, are you able to follow? Professor Nandini?
To do that, but it says it's already installed.
So then fine. So that's what I told. In the package manager, if you have this file, then done, no problem. So tools, package manager, when you have done.
But I'm not
Sorry,
able
ma'am.
to get the fourth option, what you told us, sir. Can
You
I
have,
share my screen? Can you please?
yeah. Yeah, you can share your screen. Yeah, so you already have that.
So,
You already have that control
okay,
bin, right? That's all we need. Rest of the library,
fine.
this is for, I use it for something else, so it has some other files also. But
Okay,
our main concentration is this. So in the package manager dialog, what opened, this CodeSys control Win64 should be there.
okay, sir.
And
Thank
then,
you, sir.
yeah, and then close.
I think I can stop.
Sir, shall I share my screen, sir? Actually, I'm not getting that 64 version.
Okay. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Can you see, sir?
Yeah. So now it is
I
not
just,
installed.
yeah,
It is not installed. Click install.
okay.
Go to the folder where that software was downloaded. Software.zip file we had sent before,
Actually,
right?
it was in download, but it's not visible here.
No, it's there. That software file is there, right?
Okay, this one.
Yep. Open that. Yes. Open CodeSys subfolder. Yes. This one. Open. Yep. Done. Now click I have read. Yes. And then next. Typical setup. Yes. Next. Yeah. Done. Now when you it'll go through the process, and then you click finish, and in the package manager you'll be able to visualize that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else having trouble? Up till that package installation, everybody is on the same page, right?
It will take a lot of time.
So shall I go ahead?
I think you can go ahead, sir.
Okay.
If any
I'll-
participants are finding it difficult, please interrupt.
Yeah. So I'll start sharing my screen again. So I was doing that new project. So after doing that, you start a project, give a name, and click this standard project, and select a path where you want to save the file, and then name of the file you give without any extensions, just a name, and then click OK. Then a pop-up will come as standard project. In that, you have to select device as CodeSys control Win v3 x64. So this is what you had just installed. Now you are selecting that device as the PLC what you're going to program, and then PLC PRG means the programming, PLC programming in short, the language what you're going to program in. So basicest program is ladder logic, but I'll go through the structured text, which is most easier to understand who has gone through the C or C++ part of the coding. But you don't need any basics as such. It is just a simple structure. So select a structured text and then click OK. So it will take some time to open, and it will create the project. So on the left, you can see now it is opened. So on the left, you can see the devices window where the project name is there on the top. Then the device what you're going to program, that is CodeSys control Win v3. Then PLC logic, that is the recurring logic what's going to run. Then the application. In application, you have several subfolders: library manager, PLC program. This is where you actually write the program. So you double click the program. You can see on the main window or the middle window, you can see two divisions. So the top division is where you write the variable or declare the variables. bottom is where you use those variables and write the control logic. Okay. So for basic, I'll create one variable and show it to you. Then later discussion, that file what I had sent will continue through that file. So I'll create a one variable called in1. So when you declare any variable, so first thing is a variable name, semicolon, colon, then colon, variable type, that is for now I'll say bool. So variable type can be bool or integer. For integer it will be int, so it will be int. For float type or the real value or decimal values, you write real, REAL. And for character or string type, you write string. So this is, but now it will throw an error. So whenever there's an error, there will be a red underline, curved underline, and it will show. If you pop up through there, it will show what is missing. So it is saying that semicolon is missing at the end. So no errors. So this is how you declare a variable. So one variable name, colon, variable type, semicolon, variable is declared. Now if you have to give an initial value, then what you have to do, after variable type or data type, you give say a colon equal to and then the value. So now it is bool type, right? So bool can go either true or false. So I initialize that. For integer, it can go in the 0 or in terms of integers. So it's up to 65,534 values you can put. So I'll say 0. And a real, when you initialize, you have to initialize 0.0. And a string, if you have to initialize, single quote, type, single quote close. This is how you declare a variable with initialization. Up till here, any problems? Okay. So next thing is where you will write the logic for the variables. So for an example, I have written this, adding 1 to the variable into. So it keeps on adding value in2 1 every time it executes this file, execute this run. So in the execution, this while executing, it will execute line by line. So first line 1 will be executed, then line 2, then line 3, and then again repeat. So I'll write in here, and then in3 equal to in3 plus 10.0. Now I'll just use two variables, where variable 1, that is in2, will be added every time this line executes by 1 increment, and in3 will be added with 10 increments every time it gets executed. Now so this is now my basic program. So my PLC will run only on these two lines for now. So I'll show you how to run these files. So now, first thing, now when you're going to run it, you have to go to device. So this we have to do at the very beginning of the project. So not every time you have to do it, because automatically it will be there always. Okay. On the when you go to devices, this window will be opened, where on the communication settings you see a laptop symbol, a gateway symbol, and then the PLC symbol. Now you go to your bottom tray, where icon will be there saying Codsys Control Win Sys Tray. Everyone able to find this? In that, you right click and click Start PLC.
Sir, can you please repeat
Yeah,
how
one
to go to
second.
this device?
Yeah, so on the top left side, there's a device window, right? Devices window. In that, after the project name, what you had given, there's a subdivision called device. You double click that. Then you get this window, device, and then you have communication setting in that, where this 3 objects will be visible. You got it?
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay. Now, on the bottom of your screen, on the system tray, normal Windows system tray, you'll have this icon with .64 written. In that, you right click and click Start PLC. And then this command, a dialog will open saying this you are about to start the PLC. You say OK. So when you go back to that again, another pop-up will come and then it will execute. So that won't happen to you because I have already run now some logic in the PLC, so that is running. So what you'll have this, before this icon had .64 in black, now it will be in red text. So that now stop PLC option is there, start PLC is disabled. Up to here, everybody is okay? You are able to start the PLC, right?
Any issues with the participants?
You can see the icon what I'm trying to show, right?
Your screen window is not.
Okay.
Yeah, one second. You need to go
No, it is
to the
Windows.
courses. Yes.
It is 1 second. So this bottom, you can see this .64 file icon, what I'm showing right now.
Yes.
So this either in this arrow when you click it will be there, or here only it will be visible for you. So cube kind, gray color cube with .64 written. So initially it will be in black text. You right click on it and then click Start PLC, and it'll show a pop-up, and then you click OK, and then it'll run that, and then it will be ready. That black text will convert to red, and it is when you right click again, it will say Stop PLC, and it is ready. So PLC is now running, but there's no code for it, so we have to give that code. Up till here, everybody is able to do this icon, right? So you're able to get the PLC running.
So my .64 is not converting to red color, sir. It is still black only.
If you right click and check if it's still the Start PLC is enabled, disabled, or it is enabled.
It is enabled, sir.
Click it.
I clicked it, sir.
and click OK. There's a pop-up will come, and then click OK in
I
that.
pressed OK, and now I
Wait
just
for some time.
yeah.
Wait for a minute and wait for some 10 seconds. It'll again, now it will be ready.
No, it's still black. It's still
Now it's okay.
It's still black, sir.
Okay. Anybody else having the same issue? So in the CodeSys window, device window, this gateway is green for you, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is green.
Okay. So here your laptop name will be there, I think. Correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Click here and then click enter.
The gateway and your device can be secured. Then yes, I think. Wait, let's try.
It said the device not connected, right? No device found.
Yes, sir.
Click OK.
Yes, press, sir.
Yeah. Now go back to the same CodeSys control wind tray and right click start PLC again.
Okay. Yeah.
Now it's okay.
You go ahead, sir. I think there is some issue. You
Okay.
continue, sir.
So for everybody else, that when the .64 became red, now the same procedure if you do, we will go to the CodeSys window. In the PLC icon below there, where your laptop name will be there. My laptop name is MI Laptop 1. You click and click that and press enter. This dot will become green and saying the device name. So now PLC is so CodeSys discovered your PLC, your laptop as a PLC. So now the device is ready to dump the code. So that this settings every time initially we have to do one time. So you connect this and then you are done. So every time you don't have to do it. One other thing I didn't mention is that this CodeSys software, as it is freeware, but it will run for 2 hours. So you run the PLC application for 2 hours. After that, it will disconnect itself. So every 2 hours, if you want to continue running, after 2 hours, you have to again connect. So whatever procedure I'm saying right now, right, you have to do it every 2 hours if you want to run it continuously. So that is the catch. That's why it is not completely free. If you have to do it continuously, then you have to buy. If you don't want to do it every 2 hours, restart every 2 hours. So that is why it is not completely freeware. So up till here, everybody is able to get the laptop name and this green symbol. It is we are good. We have connected to our the CodeSys software discovered our laptop as PLC. Now we will dump the code. So go to PLC PRG window again, and then on the top on the options here, you have similar to a bucket with 2 down arrows. If you go through that, if you hover over it, it will say build. You click build. So this will build the code what you written, and any errors it will show in the bottom window. So messages, it will say total errors 0, warnings 0. So and it will. So here, if say I didn't put a semicolon somewhere, and then I build, it will show the error. So bottom, it will show the line. So variable where the problem is into, and then the line. So see line 4, it says expected semicolon. So line 4 expected semicolon. So any error you do, it'll underline in red and show you, and then you it'll tell you the corrected measure what you have to do when there's basic mistakes. So semicolon you're missing or equal sign you missed. So any of the basic signs you missed, it'll tell you. After correcting that, again you click build, and then you'll say compile complete, 0 error, 0 warning. So everybody got this right? Up till here, we are it's okay. Everybody able to build the code? Okay. So next is after this, after building the code, now we have to dump the code. So there's a wheel and a green dot symbol next to build. When you hover over it, it'll say login. So you click login, and then it'll ask application is currently run. You click S. And then now it'll say, so here it is saying bottom stop. So PLC, now we have connected the Codesys software to our PLC, which is the laptop running there in the background. So software is connected to PLC. The values you can see now, there's no change in the values. You can see it is all 0, 0. That is this value 0. Why it is 0? Because I had given initialization as 0. So the string initialization I had given hello. So it is shown here. Now it is, the program is not running, but program is ready to run. So it will say in the bottom in the red that PLC is stopped. In PLC is in stop condition. It is not running. And where you had clicked login before, right? Next to that, there's an option logout, and next to that, there's a play, but a play similar to a play symbol, which is for start. You click that start. Now the PLC is running. So in the bottom, you can see run, and then see the values are incrementing. So the code what I had written was variable in2 will be incremented by 1. And then this incremented by 10. So this is running very fast because it'll depend on your PC's scan time. So it'll run depending on the processing power it has there. It'll run in that way. So you can't see you can't see one value incrementing every time because it's jumping. It's very fast. So it is updating in terms of millisecond. So up till here, everybody's okay. You're able to run the PLC, right? The values are incrementing. Anyone having trouble there? Okay. So whatever procedure I did right now, so this will remain same for any number of projects what you do. Any control logic you develop, any number of variables you put, this procedure will remain the same. After you click run, that two windows will pop up where the initialization or the declaration what we did, there you will be able to visualize the variables what you declared and its current value. And the next, where you written the control logic, there you will be able to visualize the live value of the variable and the lines what you have written. So on the left, on the devices, the application, it will say run. So this application is running. That is, the PLC is running, executing this line 1, line 2, one by one, every millisecond, and then it will give you the value. So now only thing is that this number of variables increase or the control logic what you want to write, it will change. Okay. So I won't be able to explain all the syntaxes of the Codesys logic. So I will just write the Codesys help site. So help.codesys.com. So any help regarding courses, any syntaxes you want to check, how to write this part, how to say you want to implement some function blocks. So any advanced logics you want to do or you want to learn courses, you go through this. So help.courses.com. This link, I'll put it in the comment box. I won't be able to cover all the syntaxes, how each code works for courses. So they have mentioned it here. Say if I have to run if function, if I have to run, it'll show statement if. So this is, it'll show the proper syntaxes, how it works, what Codesys uses, explains what it is. So each and every help regarding Codesys programming, you'll be able to get from help.codesys.com. Okay. So up till here, we are good, right? Shall I continue? Okay. So now you can stop the PLC. So it'll stop and then disconnect. So now it is disconnected. Now again, you're back to development page where you'll again do the development. So now if you change anything, say now it'll increment every time by a 5 increment, 5 value. So now again, I go back to login. So now you made some changes. You observed something has to be changed. You made some changes, and then recompiling again. What you do, you build again. See any errors are there. If no, then again click login. That time it will ask, this pop-up will come. So the application changed since last download. What do you want to do? So what you click is login with download. And then automatically update boot application will be ticked. You keep it as it is. So that I'll explain later in the later sessions what this is. For now, what you do is log in with download and then click OK. So what this will do is it will download the new version. So whatever was running before, the new one, whatever you changed, it will override that and it will dump the code. So now you can, if you see, it is 5 here. Before it was 10 here. Now it is 5. Again, you start your by default when as soon as you log in or dump the code, it will go PLC will be stopped, so it won't be running by default. It will be in stop condition. Every time you dump the code, again you have to start. So now every time it will increment by 5, which is we can see here also. So I have explained how to do a basic program, how to dump it to the PLC, and if you observe any changes to be done, how to come back, that is stop and then log out, change, do the corrections and then go back in. So this is a basic operation. Okay. Now I had in the comment box I had told to download the drive link, right? That drive link will have a folder. Just give me a second. Yeah, so it'll have if you extract, it'll have the 2 files. Sorry, 3 files. One naming PLC underscore web HMI example, and the 2 images. So everybody got that zip file and extracted, right? Keep it extracted in a file, in a folder, and keep it ready. So anybody not able to didn't get that file? Not able to download that file? Any issues there?
Yeah, so Pranali Power has replied that they are able to download it.
Okay, sure. Then next, what you do? So the zip file will have these 3 files. So you extract it and keep it ready. Now I'll show you how to open a project. So you have already done some project and then when you do how to open it from the CodeSys environment. So first you have to click new project. Next to that, there's an open project option. You click that, and then go to the folder where you had saved the CodeSys example one, this PLC web HMI example. You click that and then click open. Now it'll ask, I didn't save this file, so it is asking this option. I don't want to save this file for now. You please save it. Then it'll take some time, and then it'll open the PLC web HMI example. So everybody got this? It'll open and it'll show these left side. There'll be some additional options which I'll explain what they are. And then the device here. So now it's a new project. So you again do the same procedure. First you check if the PLC this thing is running or not. So it on the bottom tray it should be start should be disabled and stop should be enabled. So that, and it is in red color, saying that PLC is running. Then you go to the device option here, and then in the communication settings where the three icons will be visible, and then you can see that this is gray. So that now it has not discovered the PLC, and then your laptop name will be visible here. You click on it and press enter. Then it'll become green, and then it has discovered it. Okay. So now you are ready to dump the code. Okay. So I have already written a basic example for a motor simulation. So because because we have a small time to explain the whole CodeSys environment, so I have written already. So and then line by line, I'll just explain what it is. So this file is available to you at any point of time. You just have to connect it and run. So first I'll explain the PLC logic, what I have done. So there are several variables here. So yeah, everybody is able to open this file, right? So up till here, there's no challenges, right? Okay, Pranali ma'am, what is the error what you got while extracting?
So it is showing that cannot open the file because it have a archive.
Okay, maybe you don't have the zip file. So can you share your screen? I'll just check.
So can I show from the video? Because I am
Okay.
using.
No problem.
1 minute. So this type of thing is appearing.
1 second. I'm not able to see. Give me a second. Okay. By the looks of it, I think you are not able to extract that file. So what you do, right click on that option, and then by default it will say extract all file for you.
Yes, sir. I am doing that one only. Extract here, extract files, so that it will give me this type of thing, and again it is not means extracting the thing.
Okay.
So, but sir, if no one has any problem, it is okay. I will see to it later.
Yeah. Okay. But that is because I think you don't have the extracting software for it.
Okay.
That is why it is giving an error. You just have to extract it and you'll get that file. So you can follow the procedure what I'm saying right now, and then you can do the same file. You can repeat it later.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Anybody
sir.
else having trouble extracting it? Yeah, you can use online tools also to convert it. So I think I have used .zip file or .rar to zip it. So depending on the compatibility of your devices, it may not extract easily. So just check the conversion and then you can do it. Online, you can just extract it and get it. Okay. Okay. So I'll just line by line. I'll explain what I have written in the in this example. So there are a couple of variables. Motor start. So I have initialized this to false, and the comments I have written. So while writing comment, you do /2/, and then you write the comment saying that what this variable is for. So this is for motor auto start button. So similarly, I have motor command, motor rotation, which is a real variable, and then 0.0 I have initialized it to that variable. Then motor direction, and I have put a motor running util.blink. So this is a standard library. So now, till now I didn't talk about library manager. So now under the application, you have something called library manager. You double click that, and then a window will open saying library manager. So here you'll have all the libraries that are installed, and then additional libraries can be installed here itself. In the bottom, you should have in the black letters some util with U capital. So this library is for utility library. So general purpose functions are there here. So general purpose functions are here in the util, which are written here. So under that, I have used a function called blink. So there are several functions, inbuilt functions. So these are all already written functions. You just have to call them and then use it as it is. Okay, so I'll tell you how to install a library. So in the library manager window, top left, you have add library. You click add library, and then you type a name of the library what you want to install. So the type of library what you want to install, say I have to do some functions and then I don't know the library name. So that name I had shared a help.codesys.com link, right? There you can search for any functions what you want to, anything particular functions what you want to write, if it is available in a library or not. So that you get, by that you get the library name. So for now, I'll just say util itself, and then type in util, and then it'll say match. So is here, and then it found the library util, and then click OK. It'll install that library. So that has been already done. And then it is already there. So you can see util equal to util. So it's already installed. Any doubt in adding library? Everybody understood how to add library, right? So I'm just explaining right now. So later we may need some other additional libraries for next examples. For today's example, only this much is enough. So since we are just getting to know how CodeSys works, so I have used only one library for now, which is already pre-given. So it's already installed in the application. So you just have to see that it is there or not. Okay. then a couple of more variables I have for the control mode, rotation, and an icon. So that I'll explain further while it is running. Then there are several codes I have written, lines of code. So I have used if function. So if this variable is true, then what happens? It will go inside. Else, what happens? It will come here. So the syntax is so basic fundamental control logic, or the logic of writing a code will remain same, like from C or C++. If, then, else, and if. Only thing is that syntaxes specifically have to be written to this CodeSys environment. So those syntaxes, for some I have already written here. What are the standard syntaxes which can be used like this? Additionally, in that link, it is there. So clearly, if you want to search for more functions, how to use a for loop or a while loop, something additional things, where there you can get the syntaxes. So any functions which is already there. So the syntaxes, it's available in the help. I can show you for loop. So statement for, and then see here is a syntax, and then there's a small example also how to do it. Okay. So till here, this logic I'll explain when I run the PLC. As we go through this one, I'll explain what I have written. So, but this is the whole program of the PLC. Now, there is an additional component for the PLC is HMI, human machine interface. So whatever you have written in the control logic, I want to visualize it. So say without having CodeSys software, I want to just run the PLC. Say I don't want to open the project and go through the project, run the project, and then visualize the value. I just want to visualize it as how it comes in a web browser or a web page. I just want to visualize the PLC, what is going inside the PLC, what is the current status of the PLC, and give input to the PLC. So for that, what you need is a human machine interface, or HMI, to the PLC. So CodeSys has this option of using a web-based HMI. So normal HMIs are standalone one PC or one device application. This is a web-based application. So what do you mean by web-based? In the sense, the HMI or the front end will be running on your web browser. So from the browser, you will be able to operate and visualize the PLC's condition. So how to add that to your project? So initially, I have shown you how to do the normal variable and the control logic, how to add the visualization or the HMI. So in CodeSys, HMI term is visualization. So here on the bottom left of the devices sub window, you can see a visualization. So how you get that is right click. Now it is already there, so no problem. But when you're writing your own code, how you get it is right click on the application and then add object. You have at the bottom visualization, and you click on it and you give a name, say some name. You don't have to do this right now. I'm just showing it to you how to add the application, how to add the visualization. So I give one name and then I add it. Right now I won't add. So if I give one name and then I added, a visualization will be created. Now, if you can double click on the visualization, you can see this. So this HMI already I have drawn the components in the HMI and linked it to the PLC. So I'll just explain what are all there. So if you,
Mr. Ajay, can we
Yes.
pause a little bit? Let me ask if
Sure.
any participants are having any questions
Sure,
in this regard, if they are facing any kind of difficulty.
Sure.
Participants, do you have any difficulty in following up what is being discussed right now? Please feel free to interrupt.
Yeah, you can just unmute and ask your questions if there are any.
Participants, please respond. You want the speaker to pause for a few minutes?
Just let me know if my speed is okay. If I am going too fast, too slow, also you let me know. I'll I'll speed up if you want. So that
Yeah, one of the participant, Nandini Vinit and Vinuta Srikanth. Professor Nandini and Professor Vinuta has responded that they are fine.
okay. Okay then.
Okay, you
So
can
I'll,
continue. Thank you.
yes, sir. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so in the visualization screen, you see that I have drawn some components already. On the right side, you have this visualization toolbox where there are already some functions options available to you. So in that, see basic options. There are basic shapes, rectangle, rounded rectangle, and then there are some common controls, label, button. So what I have done is, so this is a label. So what I have done is, so you don't right now you don't have to do anything. I'll just go show it to you how I have made this. So you just follow what I'm doing. Just see. So I have taken a label. So any component from the toolbox you have to take, you just have to drag, click, drag, and drop. So it is here available. It will come in as a label, and then you can see its properties where the icons were showing before. That is here on the bottom. So here, if you go, these were the options on the visualization toolbox. On the left, you have again properties. That is, if you click on one individual component, its properties will be shown here. So type of element, it is label. Text, say I'll change it to just label. Some label I have given. So wait 1 second. I think, yeah. So label is there. Position and size of it, font, color of it. So if you double click on it, and you can change the color. If you click on the font, double click on the font and then click again, you can get the size of the font. Say a large font. So now whatever we are going is on the visualization aspect of the HPLC, that is HTML. How we want the UI to look, or the user interface to look. Based on that, you develop this thing. So all toolboxes are available to you on the right. If you don't have some, so say that now I don't have a motor symbol here. So if you go through here anywhere, I don't have a motor symbol. So how did I get the motor symbol? So what did I do is, in the application top devices top application, I right click, add object, I add image pool. So this image pool option allows you, so when you add it, it will show you here image pool. Image pool will allow you to add images to your UI or the CodeSys interface. So how I add is that in the file name section, if you click, you get 3 dots. You click on it, a pop-up will open. Select the image, go to the folder. So in the zip file, I had given 2 options, right? So these 2 icons I have already put it. So you just select on it and then click OK, and you embed that in the project. So whatever the image file you had taken, you can just remember the link, or better is the embed into the project. So if your same project, you're putting it in some other laptop, so it'll be easier. So you embed that, and then you have these 2. So that's how I got the motor icon. So in the visualization itself, here you can see image pool, and so these 2 icons is what I added, and then I dragged and dropped it. So you have the motor icon. So any symbols which are not available in the toolbox, you can directly put it through image pool. Say I want some additional symbols, you can put it through this. Okay. Now I'll explain what all the components I have put it. That is now a label I told, the motor icon I told, and there's just this lamp, and then a circle indicating the rotation of the motor, a rectangle, and some buttons. So the now we have done this visualization part. Now I have to run it. When you add visualization, on that left side device tree, you can see additional options saying that visualization manager, and under that target Visio and web Visio. So what this web Visio means, if you double click on it, it will show you a sort of options. So this is for whatever visualization you built on this, right? It will be put up on a web browser. So that is the other things. By default, you don't have to do anything. It'll just create a file, and default options will be enabled, and then it'll show the size of it. So what I have done is that size of the in the web browser, it will show only by 500 by 500 of the visualization. So size of the visualization and everything, you can change it here. And one more is the target Visio. So this target Visio is on your laptop itself. Additional screen will be opened for the UI where the HMI will be displayed. So there'll be two versions of the HMI. Both simultaneously can be operated. One is the target Visio, which is running on your laptop, and then a web Visio, which is running on your browser. Okay, so up till here, I have explained. I think I have explained all the components involved in doing this example. Okay, yeah. So now I'll just now yeah, you can follow through with me by doing that is we'll dump this code to your PLC. So now I do build. I check if there are any errors. You can follow through and then do the same. So there are no errors. And then go to login. So it will ask you that PLC is running. So before you had done a small code, right? So it was running behind. So it is asking, do you want to overwrite it? So you say, yes, I want to overwrite the last code with the new code. Now what it is doing is it is dumping the new code to the PLC, and then it is now ready. So it is now put the code. Now I'll just click start. Now you can see that an HMI opened in my screen. Everybody able to see this? So in your screen also, this in full screen mode, it will come. So you click Windows to get it on normal, and then you can check, or even Alt Tab to get it to an older window. So in full screen mode, it will open. So up till here, we are good. So you got this screen of motor simulation, indicating motor simulation. Any doubt? Any errors while running the example what I had given?
I think the participants are fine.
Okay, so now I'll show you what this simulation is doing. So you have a couple of buttons, as I told you before, auto, manual. Now what I had done is I have given tooltip. That is, if you hover over any button, it will show what that button is for. So what was this indication is for motor run auto, manual. So I'll click auto and then I click start. So motor is starting rotating. So this motor rotation, what I've done is it's simulated. So it is just rotating. The whole control logic is written in the PLC, that window what I had shown. So this lamp is going on, and then there's another button called direction change. I click on it, and the direction changed. The motor direction changed. Then there is stop button. To stop it, again start. You have this. Now I stop it. I go to manual mode. So when manual auto mode is there, manual buttons are disabled. When manual mode is there, these buttons are disabled. So in manual mode, I click clockwise. One increment of it has been rotated. Second increment, third increment. So this is every time manually I have to click to rotate it. Same way for anti-clockwise. So this is a simple application what I have created to demonstrate the PLC. So you can play around with this. So to see what each button does, how it is working. So that blink function, what I took it from the library, right? It is put up here. So click on direction change. So this is the whole example, basic example of CodeSys. Now one more thing. Now this what I'm doing is in the target visualization. That is in the laptop, I'm visualizing the HMI. Same thing, I'll be able to visualize in my browser. So I open my browser. I write http://localhost://webvisu.htm. I'm putting this link in the chat. This will be same. So now for you, when you click this link, it will open your version of the visualization. So localhost, in the sense, it is running on your laptop, but this it's on the web browser now. So this thing full screen mode, what was there, it is the target Visu, which is running on your laptop, and then same thing on the web browser we will be able to visualize. Okay, one more additional thing. What the advantage of using the web HMI is, I'll show you. For now, I'll turn on my video and show it to you. So my video is visible, right?
Not yet.
How about now?
No.
Wait. Give me a second. I thought. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. So you can in my mobile screen, I'll same link I'll open from my mobile. But now it's not localhost, but it is the IP of your laptop. So my laptop's IP depends on that. So it will show you.
Ajay, I am able to
Yes.
see your.
Yes.
Ajay, can you cast it on your monitor? Casting is possible?
Not right now from the phone. It might delay. I mean, it might be very
Okay.
laggy. So I'm just showing it through the video. Is my mobile visible?
Yeah, mobile is visible, but the brightness is too much.
Yeah. So for how to get that is I'll just turn off. So 1 second. How about now?
Yeah, something better.
Ha. So yeah, so just an example what I'm showing. I'll turn off the video right now. So just an example is that I'll present it again, my screen. So the advantage of using the web HMI is that now you guys also can follow this and try to find your system's IP and then put that IP in your mobile, considering that your laptop and your mobile is in the same network. So that only thing is that it should be in the same network. You put the same replace local host with the IP of your laptop, and then rest part of the link is same. You click it, you get the visualization. So what this means is that your laptop, what is connected to the network, right? In that network, any device which has a web browser can open this link, can put your laptop's IP and this link and open it in their visual browser and then visualize the HMI. So any devices in the same network will be able to visualize this HMI and not just visualize, control also. So it will be able to control, start, stop the motor. So whatever your laptop, that is the PLC right now, whatever that PLC is doing, the whole control is given through the web visualization, through the browser, to whoever is the person that link has, and then he can link the PLC and visualize the HMI through his web browser and then control it. So this is the second part of the PLC web HMI example, where the whole HMI is web based. Only thing is that it should be in a so your PLC and where you want to view the HMI should be in the same network, and then you should know your PLC's IP address, and then done. You have the visualization.
Sir, excuse me, sir. In order to open it in mobile phone,
Mhm.
so in order to open it in mobile phone, whether the codices need to be in odd mode or it can be.
So codesys this now, yeah, a good question. I forgot to show that to you. I'll just show it to you. So now this example is running, right? The visualization is running here in this. So what I'll do, the codesys software, I'll just close this. So now if you see my desktop, if you see, there is no I'll close this also if you want. Yeah, see, now everything is closed. Close, close, close. So once you do that, once the PLC has been dumped the code, and then if you do now, say I restarted my laptop, and then as by default this desktop will be there, and then before you shut it down, you had dumped the code and did all the process whatever I discussed before, and then it has been done. So what you do on the bottom corner where that icon was there, no, you just click start PLC and then click OK. It will open the PLC's last code. Done. So the whatever the environment what I showed you, that need not be connected to the laptop. So that environment is only used to develop the PLC's code and develop the HMI. Once you dump it, you're done. So dump it to the PLC. PLC itself has all the codes that is required to run. So the HMI is already there. It is running. Now you can see that there's no Windows. Sorry, the codesys file open in my laptop, but you'll be able to visualize the If I again type the same thing, same link .htm, see the visualization is running. So PLC is running. So
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, you got my point, right? So that CodeSys software, what I had explained till now, is the development software. So, and I told you that this CodeSys software has 2 hours of free running capability by itself. Then if you want to run it continuously, you have to put license. So this, what is running right now, right? It will run for 2 hours and then it will stop. So on the top corner, you can see demo mode, a text saying that it is a demo mode. So after 2 hours, it will stop by itself. And then you are again have to do right click, start PLC again. That's the only catch.
Sir, in the motor picture, as we have shown in that mode, right, graphics, in the right side, the rotor is rotating, right, sir? How do you make that to rotate, sir? Whether any function need to be added?
Yeah, so I can show it to you. Give me a second. So yeah, actually that concludes the session. Actually, any other doubts are there, please raise. Meanwhile, I'll just open the CodeSys, which I just closed, right? I'll just open it to show you how did I do the rotation part. So since we just came to you just came to know about the CodeSys software, so it's going to take some time to process all the options is available in CodeSys. So that's the main reason why I told the help.codesys link is that you at your own pace you figure out each of functions, what it does and how you write code. So that file, that link has all the materials or resources required to learn the CodeSys. So one particular example, I'll show I'll show you how I made it to rotate. So I had shown that on the right side of the window, you have this visualization toolbox and properties. So in the example, what I had given to you all, just click on each individual component and then just go through the properties. There you will be able to see what and all options I have used and what and all things are there. And if you want to learn about them, just click on the check the name of it and then type it on help.codesys.com. It will show you what it is supposed to do and what it is meant to be. Only main problem is that if I go on explaining the CodeSys, I can do it, but it will be very difficult for you to follow it up, because since you are just starting with CodeSys, it might be very difficult to follow all the options, whatever I have done. So step by step, you can learn by yourself the individual component wise what each section does. So right now I'll show you that circle, whatever I had drawn. So when you click on individual component, a properties sub folder, or sorry, sub window will be opened on the right side where the toolbox was shown, right? There, the properties will be shown. So I'll click on that and go down. So there are several options. Text, so tooltip, what to show, text, what if any text should be shown, and then there is absolute movement. And one more thing is that on the top corner, you have something called advanced. So you have to keep it ticked so that you get advanced options. So in the advanced movement, interior rotation, I have put the variable. So, oh, sorry, one more thing I forgot to tell you is how to link the code variable, whatever you have written here, and how to write it in, how to link it to the HMI. So same, wherever you want to put it in, variable for rotation or for a button, you put it in as, Sorry, I'll show it to you in this itself. So yeah, here interior rotation, I type PLC underscore PRG. That is the main logic's name. That name can be changed, by the way, but by default it will be PLC underscore PRG dot. What was my variable name? That is motor rotation. So that is a real value. So that value is interpreted in terms of angle here. So if you click on so individual options, if you go down and if you click on it, on the bottom it will say what it is for. Rotation of the whole element around the center in degrees. Here the element itself is rotated. So just we have to give the variable which will give you the value to indicate rotation. So that is here motor rotation 0.0 value. So I have given it here. So when I run it, it will show. When I run it here, it will start rotating. Say, because it is now incrementing from 0, 5, 10, 20, 30 degree, and then again 360, and then continue, and then go on. So that's how I had done the rotation. So yeah, once again, I want to tell you that this it may be too much information right now. It may go bounce off your head right now. So what I want you to do is this example, you go module by module, section components by components, just go through the components, what is already there in that, and check what each option is for, because it has a lot of options where it can be configured. So just go through them individually, how I have done this thing. Each you can click expand them and check what I have given, and then you can click then there itself you'll come to know what it is. A preliminary details is given there itself, and additional information will be there in the link. Okay. By the everybody were able to do the HMI, right, in the web browser as well as in the laptop tab. The visualization is running, right? No problem in running the application. If there are any, please let me know so that I can debug it, so that you can run it after the session at your own time. Run the application and then check how each component's working. Okay, then if there are no doubts, then I think we can conclude the session. Desai sir?
Yeah, I am here. Participants, any doubts? However, Ajay will also be there for the next few days in this workshop. So if you have any doubts and if you want to get it clarified later on, that is also possible. So with this, we have come to the end of the session 2 on day 2. So I would like to thank Mr. Ajay once again for taking us all through what is basically the courses, how to do the programming in courses, and how to interface and how to build up an HMI and how to interface. So I would like to thank Ajay for this, and we are going to meet once again at 3 p.m. wherein Mr. Ritesh and Ms. Munisha is going to discuss about the Blender operation once again using Modelica software. So with this, I thank you once again, and we shall meet at 3 p.m.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.